So there are four really common types of stress claim which I deal with. The first is overwork. Too many files, too many hours, and I think everybody can identify from time to time too much in terms of their workload. I think most people accept that a spike in workload is par for the course in many jobs, but where that is consistent over a period of time, it's not long before someone's resilience begins to wane, and when stress becomes unmanageable, deadlines are overwhelming, you're working late at night, burning the candle at both ends, typically that ends up in one place, and that's a trip to the GP and burnout. But I think most people can understand overwork and too many hours. The second category would be bullying and harassment. Different types of bullying. We can have interpersonal conflict and perceived bullying, as I call it. What somebody might objectively think is robust performance management, robust feedback, might be perceived as something more severe by the individual receiving that feedback. Or we might be talking about quite serious events which border harassment, which is actually a clinical threshold in terms of severity. So where there have been threats of violence or racial or sexual undertones in an office, that can actually be something more serious than interpersonal conflict and can amount to harassment under the Protection from Harassment Act. Another example would be exposure to trauma. So I do a lot of work with the Police Federation, whose officers are often experiencing really grisly sights as part of their job. Or it could be solicitors and psychiatrists who are dealing with child protection inquiries and severe psychiatric injuries. Being saturated with that trauma over time can create mental health issues. And the fourth would be a general lack of support, and this can be a catch-all. Sometimes clients can find it difficult to particularize what they mean by support, and quite often defences which I read will say, well, what support would have made a difference? And sometimes that can be quite a difficult question to answer because the support will vary from individual to individual. What one person might need might not be what another person needs. And that's why a stress risk assessment and a conversation with a manager is so important, so that both the employer and employee can voice what they feel is needed in terms of support. But I'd say those are the four main ones.